Hi foodies, I'm starting a new series where I'm going to make food from each state, but not necessarily the food that they're famous for. Maybe some of the states. Today we're going to do Georgia. I'm not doing peanuts, peaches, or pecans. Nope. I am doing something called a Manna Sandwich. I saw this article years ago and I've been intrigued ever since. Georgia's been on my mind, wanting to try this. So what is it? It comes from Hoagie's in Claxton, Georgia, and this man created this sandwich. He said that God just told him how to make it. Manna means food from heaven, and here's the recipe. This is the legit recipe that he came up with, that he shared, because he said, God instilled it in him, and that means he should share it with the world. I've seen a couple of articles online about it. A couple of people have tried it. This website, Plain Chicken, they actually give you the nutritional lowdown, and I mean it looked delicious, it sounded intriguing, so I really wanted to try it. My girl Karen from Instant Pot did it, so let's do it. Here it is, the Manna Sandwich. So we're going to use French rolls, the soy sauce, sugar, mayonnaise, Catalina dressing, spicy brown mustard. They recommend the Guldens here. That's how you say it, Guldens. Ketchup. They say Swiss cheese and ground beef. Our spices are going to be sugar. I already showed that, but there's the little bit of sugar, garlic powder, parsley, and basil. Parsley. Is it 2 or 3 syllables? Are you supposed to say that? I don't know. Let me know if you know in the comments below. I just thought of that. It's weird. So I had just gotten off of a 14-hour shift. I was super tired. Did not feel like moving my camera around. So not the most aesthetic shot here, but I'm just going to make the dressing on the stove. And they do say that the dressing makes a little bit extra, that you can use it on other things. And I will tell you guys what I used it on at the end here in a minute. But you're just mixing up all the ingredients together, the ketchup, the mustard, the mayo, and the dressing. As usual, I will link down below the actual specs of the recipe, but also you can go back a little bit and pause, and you'll see the recipe also on the screen. And now I'm adding the sugar. So that's it. You just have to whip it up, or whisk it up, and there you have it. It's pretty simple. It's comes together very quickly, this whole meal, and that's how it should look when you're done. So now I'm using water and soy sauce. We're not browning the ground beef, we're not frying it, we're not putting oil in there. It's not like what you would normally do with ground beef. We're actually going to kind of saute it, or I guess, I hate to say boil, but essentially that's kind of what we're going to be doing here. So we're boiling the beef in the soy sauce and the water. Now this seems kind of like backwards, right? Adding the spices to the liquid. Normally you'd probably put the meat in, brown it up a little bit, and then add the spices. But we're not doing it like that. We're doing it this way because this is what they say to do. So we're just seasoning the liquid. I'm actually adding salt and pepper, and I thought about it. I probably didn't need the salt because of the soy sauce. But if you notice, my soy sauce was less sodium, so I actually got away with it this time. But note to yourselves, if you're using regular strength soy sauce, you may want to omit salt. So now just mix up the spices, and I'm adding the ground beef. You can put the whole package in and just pound it up, or you can do what I'm doing, which is just kind of crumbling it in. Because it's just me, I'm using a pound, but the recipe does call for 1.5 pounds. So I will have a little bit extra liquid left over. I should have added the onions to the liquid before I started adding the beef, but at the end of the day, it all mixes up together, and I don't think it really mattered at this point. But if you like your onions to be very tender and almost translucent, then you're gonna wanna put them in the liquid first before you start adding the beef. I like mine a little bit undercooked, a little bit of crunch. But they ended up cooked anyway. So we're just going to saute the beef in the liquid until all the pink is gone, until it's cooked up nice and brown, and that's it. I mean, it's that simple. It is a form of a loose meat sandwich, and this is the end result. You do want it to be kind of crumbly, kind of loose like that. Unless you like the bigger chunks, it's your sandwich. You do what you want to do. So now, once this meat is done, we're going to get the rolls ready. They say go ahead and we're going to be putting these under the broiler. So you want to get a pan ready for that. And just slather on the sauce. They said put it on, as much sauce as you want, but just make sure that it's liberally covered and, get that deliciousness on the bread there. So I'm doing this one-handed because I'm skilled. And I'm adding the Swiss cheese. If you hate Swiss cheese, you can omit it, but this is the original recipe. Put it under the broiler until it's slightly melted. Swiss cheese is weird. It doesn't melt like other cheeses, so I didn't want to keep pushing it there. And now I'm just adding the beef. It's easy peasy, and it's pretty much done. So, I suppose you could put the meat on the bun first and then the cheese on top, but this is again how they said to make it. And this is the end result. Look at that. The bread is nice and soft and tender and warm. The cheese is all melty. The sauce is all, stuck to the meat. I'm taking a big bite here, one-handed. Oh yeah, this was definitely delicious, but very rich, just an FYI. I could only eat one half. The flavor profile for the sauce for me, I put it on a chef salad because it very much was like kind of a Russian dressing Thousand Island thing. Delicious. Please try it and stay tuned for more state foods. And thank you so much for watching Tiny Ass Kitchen.